So you join me back here in the usual spot then this week, and what we're going to be doing is looking at the first exterior wash for the new Audi E-Tron, which is the feature car on the channel after the Range Rover has somewhat sadly departed. So hopefully you've already seen my other video in terms of a bit about this car, quick walk around and everything, discussion about this versus my Range Rover Sport, why I've changed, what sort of differences it'll make, and then obviously I'll have to give a bit of an update in the future in terms of how it is to live with, and going full electric from what is a huge range diesel. You could do 600 miles plus of motorway driving, even just general commute running around town. I could easily do 500 miles to a tank. So that's a bit different. It's a bit of a lifestyle change and somewhat hopefully inconsequential to me. 99% of the time I'm doing every journey is well within the range of it. A couple of times a year I do go on long journeys to see family. I'll at least get there, I won't get all the way back, and if I have to do a quick pit stop at a DC charger, shouldn't be too much of an issue. So today we're going to look at basically as bought condition. It's an absolute mess water spot wise, so when I asked them not to detail it, clean it, whatever, valeting it as he called it, they've done that anyway. They've used the world's hardest water in the bright sunshine and it just looks a complete mess. So we're going to see how much of that is hopefully not etched in to any of the surfaces, and we'll see basically what sort of condition the paint's actually in underneath all that. So we'll do a pre-wash snow foam, we'll get that rinsed off, we'll then do a full contact wash, rinse that off again, and then hopefully once we've got it dry we'll have a better idea of what sort of condition it's in. So we'll give the wheels a clean, we'll do a full contact wash, faces, barrels, everything, just to see what sort of state they're in. Obviously I've sort of documented on my walk around last week, there is some quite considerable curbing damage on some of those, and the other ones are in super amazing condition. The original OEM wheels, the 21-inch Audi Sport design, they could benefit from a refurb, so that's something we might look at in future, and then on back of that then we might look at protecting those longer term ceramic wise. So that's something to come, but for now we're just looking at basic wash processes. We'll have a look, see if we can, unfortunately with no direct sunlight or anything, but once we've done that wash and got it in a bit better condition, if we have to, we'll use a detailing light and see if we can have a decent look at that paint and what sort of condition it's in, ready for future videos. So let's get outside, get on with it, and we'll see you back in here after that. So here we are then, you join me outside. Just finished, well, mostly finished setting up. I'm just going to get this snow foam cannon on. So today what we're going with, like I mentioned inside, we're going to do a pre-wash, rinse off. We'll then do a contact wash and then we'll rinse again. We're using Built Amber's Touchless, as we like to do. 2% PIR we're going to go with. I know it's not sort of the way you'd usually go in terms of removing water spots. It's an alkaline solution. You'd usually go more acidic to do that sort of stuff, but I thought just make it a bit stronger this first one. Although it's not caked in dirt, I want to get some of that water spotting. Some of the bit of wet weather we drove through, just some of the dirt that splashed up and everything, front wheels and tyres. So what we'll do first is we'll get wheels done and then we'll get on with the rest of it. We're not going to leave this on a super long time. We don't need to really. We'll just let it have a minute. Let it do its thing. Although we're not doing a dedicated wheel cleaner, we've not used an APC as such. When you're talking EV wise and maintenance, and especially wheel cleaning, the amount of brake dust you get is relatively non-existent. So that's really cool. When you're talking as a regen perspective, it tells you the amount of regen you're doing in this, and even when you apply your foot to the brake pedal, most of that is done via regen. Once it's then extended the full regen, it tells you, and that's when you know you're using your normal braking system. So here we are then, post wheel cleaning. Unfortunately some awful, what seems to be like oil based tyre shine on it or something like that, which Makes it a bit of a pain in the ass. Wasn't expecting that in terms of we'll get it all removed. We'll have to see post wash. Might have to do a bit more of a dedicated clean, get that tyre shine off. But it's nothing that will affect washing process today, and we'll look at paint. That's us, first time round then, with the Biltamba Touchless pre-wash. As you can see, used around half, maybe just over with taper on jug, so volume wise. So that'll do for another time. We'll let it have this proper dwell, let it sit as it should. We'll get that rinsed off, get all worst at surface contaminants off and everything, lift any loose dirt off there, and we'll go on to contact wash. So although it doesn't look particularly dirty, or it didn't anyway when we were doing first walk round and everything, it has got a decent pull with that touchless on. So we've got some visible dirt and muck coming off and everything. So we'll get this off now before it starts to dry. So that's it then, first time round, we've got all that pre-wash off, and we'll go over again what will be the contact wash snow foam. So then we've had plenty. So I always go over it quick, all once round first time round, just to make sure I've got contact soap everywhere, and then I generally have enough to go back over a second time with light, just to make sure you've got real nice full coverage. Just got a one bucket method going today. Should more than suffice for what is not a very dirty car. Just clean water in there, addition of contact wash soap. That'll be plenty for getting this thing nice and clean. One thing I will say about these virtual mirrors is, access wise, certainly for cleaning and maintenance and that sort of stuff, makes it super easy. You've no big wing mirror in the way. So that's one thing that maybe you won't think about until you're making contact with it for the first time or giving it its first wash. So that's us first time round then for a contact wash. We'll get it all rinsed off, get it dried off, see how she looks. So that's us round with our super flat and awful water behaviour. Anyway, it's clean, that's the main thing. It's a lot cleaner than it's probably been in a long time. What we're going to do now is, just because I'm not going to hook the DI water system and up everything today and go over the car, we're doing that. We'll give it a contact dry, so because we're doing that anyway, what we'll do is we'll go to something we've done on the channel before, which is we're going to go Sonax's BSD at 3:1 and use that as a drying aid. What that'll do is, obviously we're doing drying anyway, so it'll sort of be involved in that process, and then in doing so we'll give it a bit of short-term protection and what is quite good hydrophobic behaviour from such a cheap and durable sort of mixable product. So we'll get on and do that next. So right, here we are then. We've got a 3-to-1 version of Sonax BSD that's already mixed up in here, ready to go. So that's good. Always available. I have a Sonax at 1-to-1, sorry, full strength, sorry, and then one at 3-to-1 as a use of a drying aid. We've shown this before on channel in terms of how good it is, even watered down. So this is mixed with deionized water then, in terms of, obviously, if you're using this as a drying aid, you don't want to add any hard water or anything. So we've used nice, soft, 0 ppm in terms of contaminants or anything for this deionized water. So that's pure as you're getting. Go spray this on surface, panel by panel, 2 or 3 squirts. Go over with this as a drying aid. If there's anything left to do in terms of getting it absolutely bone dry, I've got plenty of these little plush microfibers. We can go over it after we've done with this and get that done. So instantly then, as you're spraying this on the surface, literally, obviously it's already wet just from the washing process, but what you will see is an instant hydrophobic as soon as this contacts the water that's already on there. It's always nice to see. Just gives you that reassurance that it's doing exactly what you think it's gonna. So that's us going around the full car then. Full wash process, dry process. Obviously you've seen all that. With, like I mentioned, 3-to-1 Sonax BSD is a bit of a drying aid and give it some hydrophobic behaviour on the paintwork. What we're going to do now, so we're just going to whip round quick then with Glaco's D-Cleaner. It's part of their sort of window and glass care system. If you can buy this in a bundle along with the compound and ultra, things like that. And it's just supposedly a bit of a topper, gives you some hydrophobic behaviour. So for what we've done today, obviously we haven't sort of got any default hydrophobic behaviour on this glass. So we'll just give it a quick clean with this, with a benefit of giving it some hydrophobics, which it doesn't have currently, until we can get round to something a bit more permanent in terms of protection products for the glass. So this is a first wash, first time round. So this will just remove any potential water spotting that we may have had. Don't look like that we have had. But even if you did have some slightly that you'd missed doing this process, we'll get rid of that. So we'll get around the whole vehicle, get this done, and then we'll move on. So just going to have a quick look round then, post-wash, post-glass cleaning. There's not much light around or direct sunlight, so at this time in the evening now anymore. Even that staying, you've got that reflection off that window in the house over there. You can see, so what we can show there is obviously you can see the flake, the colour. Not sure how well the condition of the paint will come across. You can see some swirling around that reflection area. It's not terribly visible on camera compared to what I can see with the naked eye. If you look at, as you're moving that light about, as you follow it, you can see immediately round the swirl marks and the damage. There's some swirling that is showing up, a bit easier to see on these black trims, as there always is post pre-polishing. So you can see there, let's move that light around. Anything that isn't a direct beam straight back and that sort of splaying out as such as you're seeing it is all the damage. So that's good to see. We know what we can do to get that in a much better condition and do a correction on that. Good news is, glass wise, there are some imperfections in it. It's a bit dirty, even though I've given it a proper wash and a clean, added some very light protection. Once we give that a full machine polish, probably will just be the foam pad, won't even need a round pad, and a glass compound, that'll come up really nice. Obviously no glass with these being the virtual mirrors. Been round, dried everything, including wheels. We haven't put any dressing on today. Next time I'll use a proper brake cleaner, maybe something like that, a bit of a stronger product, and get those wheels nice and clean. But apart from the stone chips and the odd marks that I already knew about when going into it, nothing that can't be corrected, made into real nice looking paint. Good to see. Right then, here we are back in the garage post first wash process on the new Audi E-Tron. So it's been good to get to grips with it. You know, it's the first time you're really sort of up close and personal, getting to know it real well. When I've gone and looked at it, as I would and as you'd expect, you're having a real good inspection and a look round, you sort of know what you're getting yourself in for. But I think where you really start to learn your car is as you spend time with it, detailing it, whether that's inside or out. As you can see, we've managed to remove a lot of that hard watermarks and the water spotting and everything that was on there. This shows that maybe it's not been like that the whole time. Maybe it was just the dealership while it was there. Maybe the previous owner washed it in a better way and there's no permanent damage done or etching or anything due to any of those watermarks, which is really good to see. So we've done that. Now we did the first wash. Obviously we've done a pre-wash. We built Amber's Touchless, rinsed it off, contact wash. Rinse that off. We've then used a drying aid in Sonax BSD at 3:1 with some deionised water, just to make sure we give it a bit of hydrophobic behaviour, because this paint was super flat. Obviously, as you'd expect, it's untreated. It's probably got a load of contaminants embedded in there, which we'll obviously look to address in the future. But for now, in terms of how rough it felt and stuff, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't end up world when you're sort of giving it back of your hand, having a look for tar spots and things like that and just surface roughness. But we've given it a bit of protection, giving that Sonax BSD as a sort of drying aid. So we've done that, got it all dry. We've then whipped around the glass quickly, give all that an external clean just to make sure there's no water spotting or anything. And we've used a protection product in that will give it a little bit of a protection. It's just a topper more than anything. It's not designed to be used on its own as such. It's a maintenance product for Glaco's Ultra and their other compounds. So we've used Glaco's D-Cleaner on the glass, we've done that. We've made sure I've obviously done all shuts and everything, give it a good dry. We've cleaned the wheels today, obviously, so we've been round and hand dried those as well. So that's all done. We've had a quick look at the paint and the condition it's in, which is first time post wash, obviously without water spotting. So that's just give a bit of a better representation. You can see hopefully that this colour is absolutely beautiful. It's drop dead gorgeous in terms of the amount of metallic flake in it is really good. So stay tuned for lots more to come in terms of paint correction, improvements, and additional little bits on top of what we would normally do on this channel. In terms of you have to have a car that is in need of those things, so that's really good that we've been able to change and get something that does need that and will benefit greatly. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're new and you've come over from someone else's channel or something like that, be sure to subscribe for lots more content to come, not only on the Audi E-Tron, but obviously general tips, hacks, tricks and all that sort of stuff for detailing, processes, all that sort of stuff. So like the video if you haven't already. Make sure to drop a comment down below. What do you think of it? Both in terms of switching to an EV, we've gone to a smaller car, and we'll see you next time.